Hey guys, so today I have so many plant care things I'm gonna get done. I'm really excited to knock a lot of these little to-dos off my list. It's gonna feel so good. The biggest thing I plan to get done today is clean this plant shelf that's off to the side of me here. And I figured while doing that, since I'm gonna be moving everything off of there anyway, I'd get a lot of the potting, a lot of the, general maintenance kind of things done for these plants. Kill all those birds with one stone, right? So we've got some repotting, we've got some plant tossing. I'll show you what plant I'm gonna throw away right now. You guys are gonna be shocked. I'm kind of shocked that I'm even doing it. And also some pruning. So let's get started with some of the smaller little projects that I wanna get done today. I have these Peperomia Hoffmanii cuttings that I'm propagating in water for my friend Natasha. They are by now rooted. Oh no, they're kind of turning to mush actually. Okay, they were rooted, now they're mush. I guess I waited too long. But I am going to get these potted into this vessel with these other little sphagnum moss cuttings that I've started. I'm gonna go rinse these off in the sink real quick. Still a little gross looking, but hey, it's fine, they'll be fine. All right, so we're just gonna combine, set it off to the side, and then I've got this thing of sphagnum moss. I'll probably need more moss actually. Yeah, a little more moss. I've got it filled to about here with moss. I'm gonna go ahead and put my cuttings in. Well, I guess they're like kind of rooted cuttings now. I guess they're kind of their own little plants now. I'm gonna fill in around them with moss. Now that it is filled up with moss, I'm gonna go ahead and wet it. Just pour a little bit of water into here. For all time, you know. Oops, that one came out. Cross that off the list. Feels so good. Before we get into the rest of the plant care goodness we've got going on today, I do want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Helix Sleep. Helix does premium mattresses that are customized to each of our individual needs. How it works, you take a sleep quiz, which asks you questions about your body type, your sleep style, your mattress preferences, firm or soft, if you're a side sleeper, a back sleeper, how tall you are, if you sleep with a partner. And they'll match you to a mattress that they feel is perfect for you and ship it right to your door. It comes rolled up in a very manageable sized box that is super easy to set up. So much easier, so much less of a hassle than having to figure out a way to transport a full-size mattress from the store to our house. Plus, they ship for free anywhere within the US. Ryan and I were matched to the Midnight Luxe mattress and it has been amazing for us. It just contours to my body so well. It is super supportive. We love it so much that both of our kids also sleep on Helix Kids mattresses and we all use Helix pillows. If you're a little nervous about ordering a mattress online that you haven't actually slept in before, don't worry because Helix offers a 100-night sleep trial. So you get a little over 3 months to make sure you love it. They even offer financing options with flexible payment plans. Plus all of their mattresses have a 10-year warranty. And it's a great time to upgrade your mattress because they're offering 30% off an Elite or Luxe mattress and 2 free pillows, or you can take advantage of 25% off their entire site. Their website will be linked in the description box and pinned in the comments. Definitely head down there to take advantage of this offer. And once again, a huge thank you to Helix for not only supporting my restful night's sleep, but also for supporting my channel all these years. Next, we've got a few little repots. So first up is this Haworthia here. It's currently living in this little 4-inch terracotta and it's pushing out babies, but it's not staying very well watered at all. So I do think it's time to up pot this. I don't like to repot my succulents very often because the more root bound they are, the more it seems like they push out babies and new growth, but I just am not able to keep up with this. I swear every time I come down and fill this plant, it fills mushy, and mushy in a it's drying out way too fast way, not in a root rot way. There is a difference. Okay, and I will be potting this into this beautiful ceramic that I got from the American Gringo by PD Pots by Pablo. I absolutely love his work. So yeah, I'm excited to get something potted into this. It has a lot of drainage hole action going on down there. So I'm gonna use pieces of moss to help block it so that, you know, dirt's not spilling out the bottom of this. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to be getting this done. These are all things I like to do my little plant chores like this, and the only reason I really have been putting it off is so I have enough for a plant care video like this. Now that my collection is a little bit smaller, I just don't have as much maintenance I need to be doing. So yeah, I know these care videos are kind of few and far between lately. How do you guys feel about that? I don't know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe y'all were getting sick of the plant care vlogs and routines. I just filled it up with my go-to mix to about here. And now to unpot this, I'm actually really excited to do this. We'll dump it out into here to contain the mess. Oh, that's actually not as root bound as I was expecting it to be. I am going to toss, well, let me show you first. Ooh, look at all those little babies. I guess that is pretty root bound. Not terrible though. Anyway, I'm gonna break these up just a teeny bit, mostly around the bottom. I don't want to jostle around these little baby plants too much, just mostly around the bottom. And I guess this other side where there aren't as many plantlets. Oops, there we go. Yeah, just jostled them a little bit. This will go here. Here's the freshly potted plant. It looks so good. And hopefully it holds water a little bit more effectively than it was in this tiny little pot. I was really struggling to keep this sucker watered, so yeah. Similarly to the Haworthia, I cannot keep this watered. I've talked about it more in a recent video, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but yeah, it just dries out way, way too fast in this terracotta. What I'm gonna do, pot it into one of these. This is the brand Guernsey and the brand Hall. I do think I actually am gonna do this one because the color more closely matches this, and I do really like the look of this planter on that mantle. So yeah, we're gonna try and keep it as close as possible as we can. Since this doesn't have drainage holes, it's going to hold moisture a lot better than this sucker. But to help prevent like mold or weird bacteria growths, fungus down at the bottom of the planter, the bakeware, I'm gonna add horticultural charcoal, a little thin layer, and of course top it with my mix. Another one, I'm really excited to see what we've got going on root-wise. I guess I'm gonna pull off these dead leaves first, since we're here. I know I've been talking about it so much lately, but I just can't say it enough that downsizing my collection has been the best decision I've made, probably maybe ever. Because I am enjoying my plant care more, keeping pretty well on top of things, which is a miracle. If you're considering it, like even just a couple of plants here and there, give it a shot. If you're feeling stressed out, it might make all the difference. I know I'll shut up about it eventually, but it's still just kind of fresh. And this is the first summer in a long time I don't feel like I'm playing catch up on a million things. Yeah, it's been good. All right. Now I'm just gonna open this. I'm gonna pull this out over top of this thing. Oh, it might be really root bound in there. There are definitely like some solid roots there, but I don't know. I was expecting much more for how much I've struggled to keep this watered lately. But I do just want it to hang off this one side a little bit. Okay, now since this doesn't have a drainage hole, I won't have to worry so much about overfilling the saucer or having water spill out the drainage hole too much. Oh yeah, It's gonna be so much better for me and for the plant. And for my mantle, which maybe I was spilling a bit of water on accident. It's a little near the TV, so moisture and TVs just don't mix. There is the micans. We can cross a bunch off the list. Well, a couple. Repot micans and repot Haworthia. I have another repot. So this is my philodendron rugosum. I am going to be unpotting it out of this crock. I have really enjoyed this, but maybe I'll do a full video talking about it. I don't actually have plants in my bedroom anymore. I do have quite a few reasons why, and I think that it has been really good for my mental health and having more restful nights sleep. This is the third to last plant I have in there. I just finally want to do something with this, so I'm going to unpot it, propagate it for my plant shop, but we're going to do this at the end because it's not just as simple as moving it into a new planter. I gotta like chop it, let it callus, move it into a new container to propagate, and you know, all that stuff. So yeah, we'll save this for closer to the end of this. My next kind of plant maintenance-y thing I'm really excited about actually is this. This is my bull fern slash anthurium. Isn't it pretty? It's kind of crazy right now, but a lot of the older fern fronds have died off and dried up, so I want to get those cut off today. So I'm going to take my pruners and chop it up. Should we zoom in? Yeah, we should. Anything that doesn't look great, I'm just gonna go ahead and trim it off since we're doing this. I've never really trimmed this before, so maybe this will, I don't know, I just wanna clean it up. You know, it's just looking a little bit messy, which is fine, but why not just handle the situation since we're here, I guess? Yeah, I think that looks way better. Way, way better, right? Don't get me wrong, I do like the really wild, kind of messy growing plants a lot of the time, but when they start dropping little dried up bits of leaves or pollen or anything, that's when I'm like, okay, something needs to change here. Speaking of messy plants, this is my kangaroo fern. I have talked so much this last year about this plant and how much I love it, but guess what? I'm tossing it. The reason I'm tossing it, on the backs of the leaves, these little yellow dots all back here, those are spores and they produce pollen, which the pollen falls off and it's really bright yellow. The pollen has made the shelf so messy. Not only that, but I think I might be allergic to it because this is the first year in a long time I've had really bad allergies, and I kind of, ever since moving the plant and getting that stuffy nose like the next day, I really think that this plant might be the root of some of my problems. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm not. There's an easy fix to this. Oh yeah, that is some matted roots. Look at that. That is so root bound, wow. You like probably can't even tell, it just looks like soil, but that is some tangled roots. That felt so liberating for some reason. I don't know, that felt really good, but also really bad because I do really like that plant. I do feel kind of bad just like throwing plants in the garbage, but I do think like, why not mix a little more green matter into our dumps? Then maybe we'll end up with good little beneficial buggies that will break down a lot of our garbage for us and maybe create a lot more dirt. I don't know, that's how I'm justifying it in my head. But it works, it's justified. I don't feel that guilty about it, just a little guilty, not too much guilty. Last to do before cleaning the shelf is to get that philodendron rugosum propagated. I'm just gonna chop it up node by node. I'm sure some of you are like, well, why'd you throw away the fern and not the rugosum? The rugosum is just a very sought after plant. You don't see it sold very often, so I do think that it's a plant that's worth like spreading the love a little bit. So I'm just gonna go one by one and chop each of these nodes, and then I'm just gonna set them aside here for a minute to callus over. Try and leave the leaves on when I can, but the leaves grow very sheathy on this, so it is a little bit difficult to keep them intact. I kind of can't believe I'm doing this because this has been one of my favorite plants for a really long time. But I don't know, I just kind of am not feeling it as much lately. It got a little bit boring to me, I guess. My kids are gonna be going to preschool next year. Life's just about to get a lot busier than it already is. So I don't foresee myself being able to keep up with all of the plants I've previously been able to keep up with. Like, we're gonna get them in sports here soon. Kai is going to be 5 next year. Like, I don't know, a lot is just changing and I want to be really present, and I do feel like at times my plants and like taking care of my plants has stopped me from being able to be as present as I would like to be. Wow, this is kind of a big deal here. I never thought I'd be doing this, honestly. I'm gonna try and pull out this bottom node. Salvage a little bit of those roots. Well, that's that. Throw away the rest of this, kind of clean up my mess a little bit. Next is to get them propagated in this bin. Going to set them in. This long stem, I'm just gonna try and bury as many of the roots as I can and leave the stem exposed, so that hopefully a few of the buds on this part of the stem will activate, and then I can chop it up once they do. Fingers crossed, y'all. Roots in moss, bud pointed up, and repeat. Uh-oh, this one I cut a little bit. I don't think that one's gonna activate, but we will put it in there anyway and see what happens. Okay, that's all the cuts. This is gonna go into my grow tent underneath some grow lights. Now to clear off the shelf. Only thing I'm not gonna move is the Passiflora trifasciata, because I want the vines to grab a hold of the shelf itself, and if I keep moving the plant, it's just not going to do that. So I need to keep that one in its spot as I clean it. Now to wipe all the spots. Look at how bright yellow that kangaroo fern pollen is. It's crazy. It's so messy. I understand that if I have plants, there's going to be messes, but there's a point where the mess is just like too much for me, and that's definitely the case with that one. Now to move everything back. I hate moving my syngonium. The second you move them, the vines like kind of twist and tangle, and then it looks really awkward again. So I try to avoid moving them as much as possible. It is what it is. These 3 Cebus in water will be going in my grow tent. I am going to get them potted up and listed on my shop here soon. They have really good root systems, so I would say like a month and a half-ish after I get them potted, they'll be good to go. Cool. Definitely room to move more plants into here, which I definitely will do that because I do have some grow lights in here. It's just a really good overall place to grow plants. I feel good about it. It feels nice and clean and crisp and fresh, which is exactly what I was going for. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today and getting so many plant chores done. I had a great time. I hope you did too. Please let me know what you'd like to see on my channel here in the near future. I am all ears. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.